going on, Night Nation? Welcome back to BKTV Live.
Today we have lots of exciting segments for you, including some about the Career Center, the Athletic Office, the Hiring Center, Nightline, and a bad movie review.
Stay tuned. So as a completely normal conversation starter, have you heard about Farmington High School's recent acquisition of Southbrook?
Yeah, they're turning it into some kind of career center.
Richard Skinner had the opportunity to learn and share more with us.
The Farmington R7 School District announced that they would buy the Southbrook Nursing Home and will be putting a program that will house educational classes for FHS.
We purchased Southbrook because we would like to expand some of our programs at the high school. And we were blessed to get a very good price on it, and we are hoping to offer even more things for our students to take. And we're kind of running out of room here, so it'll be kind of nice to shift some of our current programs into that building so that we can open up more classroom space as well.
The building that houses Southbrook will have a moving process to move the people in the nursing home to a new nursing home in Farmington. After that, the process of renovations and adding new classrooms will begin, and if all goes well, it will reopen as the building that is part of the Farmington R7 School District named the FHS Career Academy. And no, it will not be a trade school.
Oh, they're building a new facility, so they're going to move into a brand new, awesome facility where they'll be just fine and happy as can be. Okay, if all of our hopes and dreams are met, we're going to open a daycare. Where our students can, they're going to go to early childhood education and get some experience there. We're going to move our CNA construction program down there, and then we're going to offer some health service programs like phlebotomy, sonography, medical aid, and programs like that. And eventually we'll look at other programs, but that's what's on our plan for now. No, it's not officially a trade school. We have no intentions of doing anything that Unitech does, where our students currently go. It's going to be called a Career Academy, FHS Career Academy, not a bona fide tech school.
The programs included in the new building will be childcare, CNA, healthcare programs like lobotomy, construction, and more, which will expand the programs the Farmington School District currently has. Some classes and programs that are already part of the school district will even move to the FHS Career Academy.
Well, we currently have a construction program in the high school, so we're going to move that program out into that facility and build a big shop for them to work from because they don't currently have that. We'll move our CNA program down there, so we'll have to turn those residence rooms more into classroom space. And we should get to walk through the facility soon to start making some plans. And our PLTW students are going to work on helping with those plans as part of their coursework.
The renovation process is expected to begin soon after the moving process ends. When it opens, which is expected to be in the 2022 to 2023 school year or the 2023 to 2024 school year, it is expected that it will help the school with the classes included in the Career Academy, which could potentially add to the students' credit as they need to graduate high school and go to college. Reporting for BKTV News, I'm Richard Skinner.
Wow, thank you guys. That had a lot of information, surpassed my expectation, and caused no frustration.
Okay, but do you know what the athletic office really does?
You know, I really haven't learned. My heart needs knowledge. It yearns.
There are tons of reasons to like FHS, whether it be for the sports, for the teachers, or even some of the classes our school provides. But one of the best reasons to like FHS is the clubs it has to offer. It's well known that the athletics office runs all sporting events in FHS, but they also help run and organize all clubs and activities around the school. Oh, and fun fact, the athletics office is actually called the activities office. There are over 24 clubs in FHS. Some well-known ones like National Honor Society, Key Club, FBLA, and FCCLA. And some lesser-known clubs like D4 Club, Foreign Culture Club, Knitting Club, and Robotics Club. The Activities Office helps organize the events in all the clubs at FHS, fundraisers being one of the big ones. They also help in the making of clubs and getting the word out about them.
I sponsor the Knitting Nights, and we have just kind of restarted our club.
D4 Club is just open for anybody who wants to play any RPG style tabletop games or card games. So, like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, but mostly Magic the Gathering and D&D. So
We meet the first and third Tuesdays of the month in my room in room 309. We are going to learn how to knit. So we have a few people who know how and a lot of people who don't. So if you bring supplies and come here, we will practice with some videos and practice with each other. And eventually we hope to donate the things that we knit to worthy causes.
we only meet in Lab 2 in the library at the end of the day on Wednesday, and we close down about 6 o'clock. So you could show up anytime during that time. If they want to play Dungeons and Dragons, we probably have everything, and we probably have somewhere that you could fit in. Or we might have somebody that wants to split off and start a new group. But if you play a card game or something else, then you probably want to bring your own cards. Unless it's like Magic related, and then we have enough starter decks and things to get everybody started that anybody wants to play.
For more information about the clubs listed or any other clubs in FHS, check out the Google Sheet linked in the description for people to contact about joining the club.
Well, they would need knitting needles and some yarn. I think we are starting with hats and scarves because they're fairly simple.
Oh, definitely. I think anybody that isn't involved in some kind of extracurricular activity should at least be able to find somewhere that they fit in here as an extracurricular activity, just because those kind of things don't exist outside of high school, and it's kind of like social situations that you need to put yourself into as a young adult so that you can navigate other social situations as an adult.
Absolutely. Being a part of a group connects you to the school, which makes things all seem like they have more worth. We'll take anybody.
Wow, that was very enlightening. Thanks, Caleb.
Next up, we have Mock, Caden, and Nate to explain the MAC Hiring Day, which took place last Wednesday. Check it out.
The purpose of the Monroe Area College and Missouri Job Center spring hiring event here at MAC is to put job seekers together, match them with, and introduce them to employers in our area that have current job openings. So my role for the hiring event, I work with, my title is Director of Career Services here at Monroe Area College, and I work with the Missouri Job Center in Park Hills, and we partner to put this on every year. We offer a manufacturing industry hiring event in the fall, and then every spring, usually this first Wednesday of April, we offer an all industry, meaning there's employers here from manufacturing and healthcare, construction, retail. We have several camps here today. So pretty much all different industries are here this spring hiring event. It is so important for high schoolers to come to job fairs like this one here at MAC to practice. Practice introducing yourself, practice talking about your skills, bragging about maybe the attendance, good attendance at high school, or a team that you're part of, maybe a club that you're a part of, your communication skills. Even if you have never worked, all these skills employers are looking for, and you can brag about yourself and talk about it. It's also good, even as a high schooler, to network and make a contact with a hiring manager, because in the future, maybe you'll reach out to them because you're looking for a part-time, full-time, or internship or job shadow, and they're going to remember meeting you at the job fair because you made such a great first impression. So the target audience for this job fair really is high school students, so 17, 18 years old. We have 60 employers down on the Fieldhouse floor.
I'm here for the MAC tours, like job tours. Mostly for trying to find a summer job, most likely. Expected a lot less people, and I expect about 30 companies to be here, and I feel like there's 50 out there.
Wow. I have to say, that seems like it was a fun and interesting day.
I can't believe Nightline went to nationals. Noah and Ryan give us insight.
Whoa! Hey, Ryan Cooper. I'm Noah Hand, and with the Nightline team going to nationals, me and Cooper decided to get some interviews. We asked the coach, what are 3 things that have contributed to your team's success?
Hard work, creative choreography, and lots of trust. They have to be able to trust each other to be able to do anything on the floor. Well, these ladies have put in literally hundreds of hours preparing for these competitions. They practice 4 to 5 days a week for 2 to 3 hours a time, sometimes on weekends, 6 to 8 hours. They've just put in a lot of time.
We asked the coach, how does it feel to break new ground, being the first Farmington team to go to nationals?
It is really exciting. We're super excited to go and represent the area. It's also kind of stressful. We feel like we have a lot of pressure because we need to do really well to make sure that we're representing you guys as much as we can.
We asked the girls, what are 3 things that have contributed to your team's success?
I would say definitely good communication, whether it's between teammates and the coaches. When we're on the floor, everything depends on how we communicate with each other. And the second thing would definitely be great leadership, whether it's the captains or officers or, of course, the coaches. But everyone on the competition team has definitely stepped up and become a great leader this season. The last thing would definitely be dedication. The competition team for Nightline has had to practice multiple times a week. We've had multiple 5:30 a.m. practices and weekend practices, and that can be as long as 6 hours. So it takes a lot of dedication to get to where we are right now.
We asked the girls, how do you prepare for such a big competition?
Well, we first have choreographers that we have brought in, and they choreographed our 3 routines. We have a pom routine, a jazz routine, and our own coach, Andy Sparks, has choreographed our game day routine, and we learned those into the summer and the beginning of the year, and we practice constantly making sure the routines are clean, and we have great formations and facials.
What's up, Night Nation? I've been Noah Hand. That's been Ryan Cooper behind the camera. And that was our Nightline segment. Congratulations to Nightline for making it to nationals. I'm done. Bye-bye now.
Ari loves movies, especially ones that are laughably bad.
Me too. I love it when movies are so bad, they're good.
Well, you're in luck, because next up we have a review of Birdemic by Alex Coomer.
Welcome to Birdemic, a horrible, low-budget movie about killer birds that attack people. This movie's a tragedy, so let's just jump into it. So, we open to the wonders of traffic. Yes, traffic for 4 minutes. And then we meet Rod, a software salesman, and Natalie, a fashion model, at some random diner. Just listen to this audio clip. So, after staring at Natalie like a creep and not ordering anything to eat, Rod follows Natalie out the door and starts to talk to her. Unenthusiastically, and somehow he still manages to get her phone number. So, our 2 main protagonists get some great news as Rod hauls in a huge sale. That's the money this production wishes it had. Natalie also gets the news that she's been hired to be a Victoria's Secret model. Victoria's Secret wants no part in this. Rod proceeds to call Natalie and ask to go out on a date with her. This man doesn't even tell her what time they're going to meet at in some Vietnamese restaurant, or better yet, how to even get there. So, after the all-important solar panel scene and the all-important basketball court scene, they meet at a Thai restaurant. Consistency much? They proceed to chat with each other, and Rod talks to her like he's unenthusiastically giving a slideshow.
So what's your plan? Family, kids?
Whoa, now this is getting serious. This man doesn't even know how to flirt. Shut up! So, a whole bunch of nonsense happens that I'll just skip ahead to the next big plot shift. Rod's company has just been bought for $1 billion, and the board proceeds to clap in a confused manner for several minutes. So, Rod starts up a new company on his own and gets $10 million from funding in a week. You know, I'll indulge this movie on some things, but there is no way that monotonous bore of a man can convince anyone to give him $10 million. So he breaks the news to Natalie. They stroll on the beach with terrible audio and then proceed to go out to some cheap motel, and a bunch of other stuff happens, and we'll just skip to the big reveal that happens 45 minutes into the whole movie. The CGI birds attack, and they dive bomb into buildings with airplane noises. Rod and Natalie leave the motel and meet a couple named Ramsey and Becky who own a van. The four fight off the vicious birds. JPEG birds. Such horror. Then they drive for an extended time and rescue a pair of kids. These kids are slightly irritating, but they aren't the worst thing. The crew stop at a park and meet a scientist. The scientist rants about global warming. He's not important. And then they get back in their van and Rod and Ramsey discuss Iraq. What does Iraq have to do with birds? Unfortunately, Becky dies in the most hilarious way possible, and Natalie runs back to the van. Then Rod gets out, runs around, and proceeds to get back in the van, and then they drive off. They stop at a double-decker bus that the birds are attacking, and Ramsey vows vengeance for Becky, and proceeds to get slaughtered, and causes the deaths of 3 other people. The characters of this movie are dumb. Rod drives to a gas station that charges $100 per gallon. That's a bit pricey, bud. And the kids buy snacks. Relevance! And then they drive off and get stopped by the best character in the movie. Why? Because he's got a nice hat. He proceeds to hold them at gunpoint and force them to sell him gas. He gets killed. And they drive off. Without the gas tank. They meet a guy in a forest who talks about beetles, and he runs away because he hears a mountain lion. Also, look at this man's hair. What is that? Unfortunately, they run out of gas and the birds attack. And then they just fly away. Guys, come back. You've got a job to finish. And then the dreaded trash fest of a movie finally ends. This movie sucks. The characters are bad, the acting is bad, the story's bad, they cut away to things that don't have any meaning, and the effects are atrocious. If you want something good from this movie, then I suggest you check out the Corridor Crew's video on Birdemic, where they revamp one of the scenes. It's at least better than anything in this hour-and-a-half movie.
You know, that was one of the movies of all time.
It's stunning, Oscar-worthy, almost Hitchcockian.
Well, that's all we have for this episode. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode of
BKTV Live.
That was beautiful.